Hey everyone, this is That Guy In Hutch, Jason Probst, and this is That Podcast In Hutch. You know, I've always enjoyed news and information, and I've always liked trying to learn as much as I can about things and try to have a real understanding of how people live their lives and how our community, how the different parts of it fit together and work together and keep things moving forward. But more than that, I've always liked the stories of people too and how they live their lives. You know, I used to work at the Hutchinson News as a reporter for a number of years, and in that, I always loved hearing these stories of people overcoming adversity or dealing with things that you would think would just knock you down so hard that you'd never be able to get back up again. But people have this enduring spirit and they're able to get back up. So what I hope to do with this podcast is kind of share some of the information. Sometimes we're going to, dive into the big issues that our city faces. Some days we're going to maybe look at some bigger state or national issues, but more so we're going to talk to people that have the stories that make our community rich. And there's a lot of that here. There are a lot of people that do a lot of amazing things, and sometimes just very simple things that are remarkable in their own right. So I want to tell these stories that make our community a dynamic place to live. Another thing that we're going to do is also highlight some of the events that go on in Hutchinson. I hear all the time that there's nothing to do in Hutch. I would argue that there is. Sometimes we just don't know about them. On any given weekend, I can overbook myself. I can have things that I have to miss because there's so much going on. So I want to take some time every week on this podcast to talk about some of those events that are coming up, because I think it's really important that people understand that there are a lot of organizations in town putting a lot of work into making sure that we have fun things to do. So that's what we hope to do with this podcast. This is an introduction to try to get a little information out there for you to kind of know what we're looking at doing. I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope you'll become a regular listener, and I hope that you'll come back over and over again to hear these stories that make Hutchinson a great place to call home. This is That Guy In Hutch, Jason Probst, and this is That Podcast In Hutch.